everybody. Welcome to a moderately good podcast. Hopefully you're a repeat customer. You have come before, you have enjoyed what we've done here, and you have returned, and you are welcomed always. Before I get started, as I always do, quick shout out to at Above Average Joe Pro. That's my camera extraordinaire guy. Go get your Instagram shots there. He's doing all the stuff. Follow him on that. And shout out to my guy Hunter that is doing the Young October. www.youngoctober.com is his website, doing a really cool clothing line. I happen to be wearing one of his shirts right now, right there, Young October. So go get some stuff. It's cool stuff. I'm wearing it. I mean, what else? What else do you need? You know what I mean? And then last but not least, the Go Bubble app. My guy Mo started. It is a mobile detailing service. They bring the detailing service to you. It works kind of like, I don't know, the walking dog one, Uber or something to that effect. But you get on there, you pick a detailer, and then he comes to you. You can find them all in place on the Go Bubble app, and that's Go Bubble, like the little underscore and app. I would like to welcome one of my old friends. We've known each other for a really long time. We ran around in the same circles in the good old Victoria, Texas. My friend Justin. Justin, how's it going, bro?
What is going on, brother?
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Okay, so before we get started, I have a couple beard questions.
Bring it on.
Okay, so how long you been rocking your beard? Like, because you've been rocking your beard for a minute, right?
Yes, sir. Probably, and I'll back up I'll go even further. I started shaving my head when I was 19.
Did you like losing your hair?
Yeah, losing the hair, going bald. Like, seriously?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you're 19, why else would you? It's like you're just crazy. Like you're on a football team or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you started shaving your head at 19. And so you were just like,
I know.
Balled up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I look like a Q-tip, and
so when you could grow the beard.
Probably about age 30 or so.
Is that when you started?
Yeah, I probably started working on it. And
how old are you now?
I'm 43.
Okay. And so, I mean, and I've seen your beard, like, it's been like long.
Yeah.
Like, what's the longest your beard's like ever been?
Probably a foot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, well, what's that like?
It's fun. It looks cool to groom it, but man, I wanted more of a professional appearance.
Yeah.
And as I started working on my businesses and stuff, and I really like shaping it up and making it look clean.
Yeah.
And I used to dye it. I was embarrassed by the gray, and now I'm like,
it's kind of you embrace it a little
100%.
bit, right? Yeah, because I dyed my beard like up until maybe a couple of like years ago, and then I started growing. And I don't mean this in a conceited way, but I started growing it out, and I was like, it looks pretty good, like gray. It doesn't look bad,
right?
You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm just going to, and Aaron likes it. And so I was like, but so what I'm kind of getting at is, so you said before you came over here, you drove all the way to Austin and get your beard done or trimmed or whatever. What do they call it? Beard trimmed?
Your beard trimmed.
I will say your beard done.
Done.
Your beard done. And so I want to know like maybe how often you do that, why you do that. Like, why not just like trim your own? Like, what are the benefits of going to get it? Why? Because so I'm thinking about I'm growing it, right? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about growing it out long, but this is all myself so far.
Right.
But I have a feeling you're going to tell me that at some point, like you have to get it like shaped up or something. So that I want to know how did you, when you were growing your beard out long, what's that process? Give me the process.
Well, so of course, when you don't have any other hair to take care of, you're like, that's all I got, bro. Like, it's all the hair I can take care of, So
you're saying I'm having to double up because I have to pay for haircuts and beard trims.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So I actually,
do you get your head shaved when you get your beard cut?
No,
you don't.
I shave it myself. With the razor about 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay,
but I get my beard. I come up to Austin, drive me a 2-hour trek one way to get my beard trimmed and shaped by a Bearded Barber ATX.
Oh yeah, shout out to like Bearded Barber ATX. Is that what his Instagram handle is?
That is his Instagram handle. Casey over there created an awesome business. I've watched him grow.
Right.
And I love supporting small entrepreneurs.
Yeah, you do. You do. Like we'll talk about that in a little bit, but absolutely.
And so I stumbled upon him because my first barber canceled on a text when I was in Austin, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go check him out. He was available, and he actually lined out my face and told me how I needed to trim it to cut it to make my face look skinnier, make it look more aerodynamic, quote unquote, I guess is the words I'm looking for. And man, I just fell in love with the way he did it, and I've stuck with him since. And man, when someone can do your females can really probably adapt to this is when they find the right hairstylist that takes care of their hair, they're going to stick with them. Right. And man, I love it, man. It just makes me feel like a new man when I get it all
and I've gotten my beard cut twice, I think. Well, and one time I got it dyed by the dude, right? And so I know the way that like I dyed it at home with like a dye kit. And then you go like to the barber, and this dude was he was dyeing my beard. Like, I mean, he left it on my face, and he didn't even like wash it. He just like left the dye like in my beard. Like, and then when I got home, I was like, I'm gonna wash this shit out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why didn't you wash that out? Weird. Yeah, it's weird. And so I don't know if that was just like a one-off experience, but I was kind of like, well, I mean, I can do this at home, but I'm starting to feel like I'm not gonna be able to cut my beard much longer. Like, does that make sense?
No,
like, I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to have to find somebody to cut my hair.
Right.
So where am I going to again?
Bearded Barber ATX.
Okay. Yeah. Bearded Barber ATX.
Yeah. Casey.
Okay. And that's the name of the place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And all the barbers in there have beards?
No, they all do haircuts, beards.
Oh, I just when it said bearded
barber shop.
I thought when it said bearded barbers, I thought maybe they had like a shtick where they all had like, so like ZZ Top, like they all had beards or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's an eclectic place. He totally redesigned it. Free alcohol. You can get beer, whiskey. It is set up, man. He's created a great idea there. And
Justin, if you're trying to help your buddy out, you need to start with the free alcohol. Just start with free alcohol. Just like you go Bearded Barber ATX and you go free alcohol and he's going to cut your hair. Right. Done. You know 100%. What I mean? That's awesome, man. Yeah. That's awesome. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about like what you really do. So like talk about and you can plug all your stuff that you know like your business and stuff. But I have a question for you about your business. So, but I want you to just talk about what you do first.
Sure, no problem, man. So I, as you know, I've always had lifted trucks, jacked up trucks, they call them, my whole life.
You always had cool trucks. Yeah. You always had cool trucks. If you grew up in a small town, like you know this feeling, like when you're like at like a party or like a dance hall or something, and you hear that. You're like, oh, like Justin's in the parking lot. And it was just like, it was cool. Like I wasn't into that stuff, but I could see why girls were into it. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. So I started Outlaw, Florida, Texas, at my parents' house in 1999, man. So I've been doing this 22 years. So
you were doing that like out of their garage?
Yes.
Dang. And so you did it out of the garage for how many years?
About 3 years. And then I just took a dive off and got a small rental shop. And pushed through that all the years of 2000 and into like 2013. Had an individual, a good friend of mine now, approach me and says, "Hey, you want to build your own shop?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm broke. Like, I can't afford that." And he goes, "Man, have some vision. Like, dream about it." He goes, "I'll be your banker. I'll help you walk through this." And man, he laid out the plan for me. And now I've got a acre and a half on John Stockbauer in Victoria, Texas.
And that's big shit for anybody knows. If you know, you know. Yep. That's a big deal.
It's I thought the second busiest street in Victoria, Texas, population about 80,000. I got a 7,500 square foot shop. My building is red. I laid it all out, red and black, the complete metal building. And man, we're doing some killer builds. I've got a great team behind me. We've got about 10 employees now. And
really quickly, on YouTube's, is there somewhere where people can see the video of the groundbreaking?
Yes.
Okay, so where do they go to see that?
Outlaw Off-Road of Texas.
Okay, on the website?
Well,
or on the Instagram?
YouTube.
Okay.
Be sure and put up Texas.
Yeah. Very important. We don't mess with anybody else, just Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the official groundbreaking is on there, man. It's a little tearjerker.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, you know, like it's going to tug at your heartstrings.
Right.
You know,
it's my passion, man.
Yeah. I mean, this was this guy believes in. So like, definitely check. It's cool. I saw it today and I just thought it was like awesome. Yeah. So yeah. So this is where the rubber meets the road. You're going to dispel or you're going to tell me if this is true or not. And you're going to tell me if this is a common question or if it's just my dad. Okay.
All right. Bring it on.
So like I always wanted to like jack up my trucks, right? And my dad would always say, and sorry, Dad, if you're listening to this, you said it, so that's not my fault. But he would always say, "Oh, it's going to ruin your truck. It's going to ruin the suspension. It's going to mess up your brakes or whatever." And say like you'll never get the value of it back again. And like all these, is that something that you hear or that you know, or is that just like my parents?
I would say yes and no.
Okay.
So it does make parts wear out faster, but it's not like going to instantly break. But man, these dealerships, we do a lot of new vehicle builds and we do them for the dealership and put them on the lots. The vehicles sell faster, modified. So it's a no-brainer. Everybody wants it. Everyone wants to be different and unique in their vehicles.
So you're saying that is outdated. It never existed.
Exactly.
Okay. And so do you do like when people fuck up their own shit? Like, do you do fixes?
Of course. That's how my business started.
Oh, really? Because I guess
I fucked up my own truck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
just hey, 30 seconds. Tell that story because I thought it was like pretty interesting.
I bought a truck, 15 years old, $1,500 cash. We're trying to figure out what gear ratio was in it, kind of technical stuff, but it's 4-wheel drive parts. And I read in some magazines, and my dad helped me real quick. The gears didn't match. Had I put it in 4-wheel drive, it would have exploded. The transmission, transfer case, rear ends. So I had to tear it all apart. And my dad's a general mechanic, and he helped me. And we figured it out and bought some used axles that matched correctly so I could correctly use 4-wheel drive. And that's how it all started.
Wow.
When I was 15.
And so, like, I'm going to guess at 15, like, I mean, like you're losing your mind because like you just $1,500, blah, 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 or whatever, right?
Upset. I got ripped off.
Yeah. But at 43, you'd have a totally different perspective on that situation. You wouldn't panic. And a lot of it's experience now. But like, if you could have told that 15-year-old you, like, hey, just like you can figure this out.
Right.
And then that would blossom into this. Does that make sense?
100%.
Like when we're younger, we don't have that. There's a level of patience that comes. I always talk about like having my daughter now is like, it's way better now because I'll have a lot more patience. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. So tell me like the worst, like fuck up story, like a car, like something that came in and you were just like, I don't know. It's like one of those car shows where they're like, I don't know how we're going to fix this. Or like, tell me like the worst fuck up story somebody's brought some shit in.
Well, actually it's a build I created.
Okay. That's good.
So,
we'll go with it.
I built, customer came in, nice Chevy Dually Duramax, sum it up short and sweet. He spent about $25,000 with us
on that one,
on this truck, tires, wheels, lift, exhaust, tune, automatic steps. And you open the doors.
Was it bad? Was it badass?
It's a bad bitch.
Okay.
Like it really was. Well, it had a vibration between 60 and 65 that was not consistent. So believe it or not, it would come and go. I could not replicate it every single time. We tore that truck apart 10 to 15 times. I took it to Houston, San Antonio, all over the place. Transmission, trying to figure out what is causing this vibration. And I ended up spending another $5,000 in gears. Talking about gears earlier. I upped the gear ratio to bring a different RPM at 70. So I spent $5,000 in gears and it was fixed as I could feel it. And he brought it back like a day later. He says, this is at a different speed now, this vibration, but it's not consistent. You know, it was like granny it, like baby it.
Yeah.
To get it up to speed. And it was really weird. Anyways, I lost $10,000 on that build and I never made the customer pay the rest of the balance. I felt really bad. And to this day, I still can't figure it out. I tapped out like mentally and I'll transition.
Do you think about it? Like when you're going through stuff, do you, in the back of your mind, do you go like you're in a situation, you go, oh, I wonder if it would help that other situation? Like, are you constantly thinking about it in the back of your mind or do you just totally let it go?
I had to let it go because it
was
actually,
haunting you?
No, it was physically messing me up.
Wow.
Stress wise.
Yeah.
And that turns into why I started 75 hard.
Yeah. Yeah, really quickly, just go quick rundown on that too, because I told you I want to ask you like a bunch of stuff.
Right.
But like, if we get into one good, we'll just sit there. But I want to make sure because there is a lot of things I want to ask you about. So
yeah, I mean, 75. I was lightly getting depressed over this truck because in owning your own business, man, I want everything perfect. I want that customer spent a lot of money with us, hard-earned money. Everything has to be 110% perfect, and that truck was eating me alive. I was breaking out my face. I mean, just stress, man. We couldn't figure it out. Calling people across the nation, bro. Like getting on forums, talking to industry experts. The truck is a lemon, man. It's weird. But so I started stress eating and you being a trainer and you know what that's about.
Oh yeah.
And man, I took it on too hard and could not figure out a way to get out of that depression mode. And I started doing some research on the internet, found Andy Frisella. Shout out to Andy and First Form Company. Great mentor. Read about a 75 hard program mental toughness challenge. This isn't a workout challenge, it's mental toughness. There's no way to improve mental toughness in the world.
You got to work that muscle, right?
Exactly.
Right. It's just like any other muscle.
Right.
If you want to have mental toughness, you got to work at it.
Right. So I shout out to my buddy Jed up here in Austin. He turned me on to go see Andy live at the Arte Summit in St. Louis. Saw Andy live speak. I was blown away. He goes, bro, start 75 hard tomorrow. I'm like, whoa, calm down. I want to, and I get my meals planned, and I did. I started it. I got to day 65. So what 75 hard consists of is 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each, your choice. Yoga, weights, walking, running. One has to be outdoors, okay? No matter what. I don't care if it's snowing, ice, whatever.
I like that.
So 2 45-minute workouts, your choice. You have to, a gallon of water a day, no matter what size you are. 1 gallon of water has to be drinking. 10 pages of a self-help or entrepreneurial reading book. No alcohol for 75 days. You have to follow a meal plan. You have to take a progress picture every single day. You have to log all this stuff. See, progress picture, 2 workouts a day. Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something. And no sweets, no cheating whatsoever. No sweets.
So that was going to be my question. So for you, what was the hardest thing, or what was making you fail? You completed it? Did you say
no? I failed on day 65, bro.
Okay, so and then how many times after that did you do it?
7 more.
And you failed all those times?
Yes.
Okay, so were you getting farther? Did you were the numbers? Can you remember roughly what the numbers were?
So the first time I failed, I got cocky on it, man. Day 65, dude, 10 days left. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And I forgot to take a picture.
Oh, shit.
The smallest details. But guess what? You got to start over, bro. Because the smallest details, when you skip those small details, they're going to compound.
Yeah.
In life.
Yeah.
And so he makes you start over.
Yeah.
And it's all internal, man.
Okay. So we don't have to go through all the times you failed. Let's just
it wasn't eating. It wasn't alcohol. It was mainly the picture or forgetting to work out or just not. It was really the picture and or just tired of following a meal plan.
Yeah. So would you say following the meal plan for 75 days is hard?
To an extent, yes.
Yeah.
But then I kicked its ass, dude. So COVID hit in 2020. I stopped it.
Because you don't want to be like LeBron. Yeah, you don't want a championship in a bubble. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I lost 40 pounds on the first 65 days. I killed it, man.
That's awesome.
And
by the way, some of the videos I saw, with your thing, you totally tell that you lost weight.
Right.
I was like, oh wow. I was like, that guy was heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize that you had gained weight like that. Right. So you look awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
anyways, so go ahead. Sorry.
So COVID hit. Business is still doing good though, guys. I was still had no reason to be stressed out. I just physically gave up. I don't know why. I just hit a wall. I was tired of 75 hard. Probably some work stress going on, and I felt like it come back around, and I was like, well, I know how to get out of this. I'll do 75 hard again. So I made a pact to myself. I got heavy again. This past year, January 19th, my birthday, I said, I'm going out for one birthday night, have a great meal. I'm starting 75 hard the next day. Had COVID the 3 weeks before, took me down hard.
Yeah.
Being a fat ass. Straight up, the breathing.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, there's no reason I cannot climb these stairs. This is stupid.
Right.
So I was like, fuck this. I'm going all in. January 19th started, dude. I hammered down, baby, to a T. Ice storm hit in February.
Yeah.
The Texas winter blizzard.
Yeah.
Dude, my Airbnbs froze over. Water exploded. Water pipes exploded. Houses flooded. I got on my bike and I just rode, man. There's nothing else to do but just go work out, go stress relieve it.
Yeah.
I nailed it, man. I finished April 10th, 75 days.
That's so awesome, man.
Dropped about 45 pounds through it all. And again, this isn't a weight loss challenge, guys. This is a mental toughness.
No, but that's why I asked you what part of it was the hardest, because I think that I might struggle in different areas.
Right.
I might struggle more of we say 10 pages of a self-help book. Not that I don't read. I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Right.
And not that I don't do that, but I don't do that nearly as much as I want to. And I would, that would be a sticking point for me, I think.
Right.
I mean, I think I could do the diet part, maybe. I mean, we were talking sweets earlier, it's just, it's tough. And then it's tough when you have a kid, she just now figured out how to feed herself. Well, not just feed her, but now she wants to feed you. And so then she's just giving you shit all day. You're just it's maybe food she's already had. You're like, oh, thanks. Whatever. But I mean, I just do my best with my diet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyways.
But you have to be an example to your clients.
Oh yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, yeah. And like,
You can't be a fat ass telling somebody how to.
well, and what I try to do with my training is just like try to create balance, right? Just balance it up, man. Like, you know, it's, tell me this, did doing the 75 hard, like having kind of these different like parts kind of balance everything out? Like it didn't put too much in one area, put all the right things in the right areas. Right. And that's kind of when I talk about like moderating your life. That's what that is. You know what I mean? Like I heard somebody, I was talking to someone yesterday and they were like, you know, you can't put 100% here and put 100% here. And I was like, yeah, like, because you can't put 100, but you have to know when to put 100% in something and then when to put the 100% in the other. Like you have to know when to put in the 100%, what your focus is at that moment. Make sure you take the picture every day, whatever. Right. You know what I mean?
So 75 hard is for mental toughness, but man, ultimately it's when I'm the happiest.
Why do you think that is?
Because I actually completed something. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people can say they did 75 days of this, man? You're on top of the world when you completed that day and you can look in the mirror and take that picture. And yeah, that's why I fuck with you. It's because you're a badass. Like I challenge you to just try it, man. And do some reading on it. Let's look up some YouTube videos, watch some Andy stuff on it.
You know, like I feel like I would love it. But man, like, I mean, you know what I'm more impressed of than you just doing it?
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah, go ahead.
See this tat right here?
Is that what you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, there's something else though, man. I don't know if you can see this. If I can twist my arm right.
You have to hold up to the camera. So, you couldn't put it on the outside, man? Come on.
Because I want to look at it.
No, I'm messing with you.
You're over here rambling. And I got FYE on my arm.
Yeah.
Fuck your excuses.
Right.
It's an excuse. Life is an excuse. We make excuses every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I stopped you right there. Like, fuck your excuses. So I got this upside down on my arm so I can look at it every morning. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to eat right. It's staring me right in the face, man.
Hey, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you better put nothing else on that arm because then it all starts to blend in and you don't even notice you're tattooed anymore. That's what I hear you. That's what happens with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you got that tattoo from some other program that you follow, right?
So I joined Apex group, Ryan Stewman. Shout out to Ryan Stewman and the guys. I joined that group in May of this past year. And it just set me on a whole nother level, man, of being the best version of myself that I possibly can.
Yeah.
And inspiring others. That's why I jumped on this podcast. I come from nothing.
We come from similar backgrounds.
Right. I mean, middle income. I mean, just nothing was handed to us. We worked our asses off, and
that was kind of like, my hometown was a little bit smaller than Victoria, but like that area, I mean, it's what small town Texas is like, you know what I mean?
100%.
Especially if you're there, if you're planning on leaving, it changes. But like, if you're going to be there, it's going to be that kind of just hardworking blue collar lifestyle for the most part, right?
Yes, sir.
So anyways, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, just that, Apex is just teaching me to be the best version I possibly can. Being that leading role model example and raising the bar upon myself so that everyone else can like look at me and, dude, if he can do it, why can't I?
Right.
And just the networking of that group and supporting of each other is just unbelievable because we're all small business owners.
Yeah.
Or big business owners. There's millionaires and billionaires in this group. I mean, we're all there to help each other.
Right.
It's like a pact.
Right.
Man, I've only been in it for 4 months. I can't wait to see check in with me a year and see where I'm at, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know.
Maybe you have to do a follow-up podcast or something.
Hey,
plug, ping,
Hey,
ping.
well, so far, everybody that has come on I'm like, hey, do you want to like come back? And they're like, yeah. And so like, I'm hoping that everybody kind of comes back. It would be, I don't know if it would be boring or not, but like, what if just every podcast was until somebody like retired, didn't want to do it. And then you fill it with a new person, but just follow up like every year. We'll just follow your life for like a year, like years.
100%.
And like come back and like you like bringing your kids and I don't know,
flying on my jet.
Yeah,
who knows, man?
We have we might have spacesuits and shit by then. You might just be landing right in the back behind it, just like.
We could do this on Mars, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows?
So, hey, just really quickly, did you look at my shoes at all?
They're legit.
Isn't
I
that?
wish he had some ketchup stains on there, like some fancy ketchup, like spicy ketchup.
Hey, well, you know what? That is a good, like, what I should do is just like paint what looks like ketchup,
dude,
spilt on my shoes.
Marketing 101. Put them on eBay right now.
I know, but I love them so much.
They're legit.
Yeah.
I wish I could
like,
rock them.
Like, I mean, you fuck with Whataburger, right? Like, I mean, not when you're doing 75 hard.
Yeah, but you know,
but
it's good stuff. It trumps In-N-Out, guys. I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah, I knew it. Part of the reason why I wore these shoes is to get into this conversation. But so you've probably spent many a late night at a Whataburger, yes?
Back in the day, bro. Yeah, of course.
So, do you have a good Whataburger story that you're willing to share? Like, you know, one of those late night Whataburger stories. I saw a full blown like fight in the front of a Whataburger one time.
Right.
I went to a Whataburger in South Padre Island, and like when all the bars lit out and stuff like that. I mean, there's nowhere. I don't think there was anywhere else to go, and like just every car on the island is like there. And when he went in there, and a brawl fucking broke out. Like, and me and my buddy were just like, we got to get out of here. And went back and just went home. You know what I mean? Like, we're not staying there.
Good Whataburger story, man.
You're bound to have one. It could be about somebody. It doesn't have to be about yourself.
Man,
it's
no, I did. I have a good one, man. I don't even remember how long ago it was. We had a George Bush. We had a George Bush cardboard cutout, and it was like a stand, like a life-size cardboard cutout, and we carried him around to the bars with us.
Like one night.
Yeah, just one night.
Wait, George Bush Senior or Junior?
Senior, I believe. This is like 05, man. This is like way back in the day.
Okay.
And we hung him out my excursion, which was really tall. He was like waving at everybody with his hand. We took him into the bars, into Whataburger, and we actually like placed an order with him.
No way.
It was the people that were just cracking up. I know it made those workers' nights too, man. It was hilarious.
So I'm going to go out on limbs, just say cell phones weren't a thing yet.
Barely. Right? I mean, the flip phones.
We didn't have any like badass cameras and stuff. Just like now you can just record that whole thing.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, hey, did you just got some new ink, didn't you?
I did, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna
give a shout out to my tattoo artist real quick.
Yeah.
Lefty Colbert, famous Ink in Waco, Texas, man. He's been doing tatting for 30 plus years. Tatted his dad when he was like 13 years old, when his dad was just getting out of jail.
Wow.
And just some crazy story. And this guy's really inspired me, and we've shared a huge connection, and he specializes in black and white.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he just did this lighthouse here. The artwork is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I told him the backstory on it. Man, I shout out to Sean Whalen, another mentor that I've never really met, but I just follow him online.
What
Sean Whalen, Lions Not Sheep.
Okay, I've seen that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
But, so I guess he's like a motivational speaker.
Motivational speaker, just being a true man.
Okay.
You know, and not being told what to do with all these restrictions of, of everything going on. And so he got a lighthouse tat, and started reading it, and he read a great post on it, gave it to Lefty, and I said, dude, I want this. He goes, well, I don't copy anybody's ink. He says, and I don't have a lot of ink on me. And he drew it out, and I was like, no, that looks okay, but it's just a stencil. I was like, just roll with it, bro. And dude, he laid it out, and I was just like, he spent 8 hours on it, one setting.
Yeah.
Knocked it out in Waco. And so a lighthouse, man, what does a lighthouse do?
Shines light.
Okay. How often?
At night? During the day? All the time?
Exactly. Does it get affected by hurricanes?
Not normally.
Does it get beat up by the ocean and waves?
Not normally.
Yeah. Hurricanes, tornadoes,
right.
Hail. Still standing, right?
Right.
It's still a beacon of light to those sailors, to those ships, to anything incoming. And I, as an individual, want to be that beacon of light to my employees, my peers, anyone around me, that I'm still standing.
Yeah.
No matter what's thrown at me.
Yeah.
Marriage, divorce, business failures, stress, weight loss, weight gain. Dude, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And trying to be the best person I can.
Yeah.
And so I want to just be that representation, and to show people that I want to be that beacon of light, a beacon of hope to someone. So yeah, that's where the lighthouse comes from, man.
It's hard when depending on how poor or well your life goes, it's hard for anybody when they're getting beat up to try to keep that positive mindset. You know what I mean? To keep it like like this really sucks right now, but it's not always going to suck.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like, I'm not gonna lie, I have a whole new respect for lighthouse tattoos. Like before I was just kind of like, okay, it's a lighthouse. But like when you explain it like that, I was like that's badass. I like that.
I got a quick little story about that.
Yeah, go.
I didn't, and I'll tell the story. I'll tell whoever I see it, whoever I feel part to. But I posted this on my social media, and I'll try to sum it up short and sweet. But I bought a table off Facebook Marketplace, and I knew the girl who was selling it. She said, "Go over to see my dad. He is an old coach in Victoria, well-known coach, Mr. Hooper." And went over there, and I could just tell this man was like, he said his wife passed 3 years ago and was really depressed. And I just saw he was really depressed. He started talking about his wife nonstop and what a beautiful lady she was, and saw the table. I was like, dude, I want the table, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man. And he showed me his tat he had on his arm of his wife's signature and their marriage date. And I was like, man, she was a hell of a woman. They were married for 20 years. And he was depressed. He was limping his leg, and you could just tell he was headed downhill. I said, Mr. Hooper, I said, check out my tat. I said, this lighthouse. And he goes, well, tell me about it. And I did. Mm-hmm. And I said, Mr. Hooper, you're not going to cry on me, are you? No. But
I thought you kind of you got a little
But this is
no, yeah.
This is deep. So I was staring at him, and I go, Mr. Hooper, a lighthouse is just standing there no matter what goes through it, what hits it. And I said, you have a 35-year-old daughter. You have an older son. You have another older son. I said, they're still looking up to you, bud. You can't let them down.
Yeah.
You need to be this beacon of light to show that no matter what you're going through in life, that you can still stand. I said, because they still got a lot of questions and answers for you, bud, in their lifetime. And I said, be that beacon of light. Be that beacon of light, how awesome your wife was. You said she was a peaceful woman, sought peace in everyone. Dude, live through vicariously through her, through that lighthouse. And I said, would you have let your students, your athletes, all those quit and fumble? No, you were on their ass to be the best person they can be.
Yeah.
So how would those students look at you now? Dude, he started crying, and I started crying. I gave him a big old man hug.
Yeah.
And he was moved.
That's awesome,
and,
man.
So, yeah, I never thought this tat would have that kind of impact on someone. And if that's just the beginning of it, dude, who knows where it can, like.
Well, I don't know. Are you a fairly religious person?
I am. I believe in God. I mean,
So I have this Proverbs tattoo on my arm, and me and my best friend have the same tattoo. And it's Proverbs 27:7. It's as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. I'm sure you heard that before, right? And it's really weird. It's probably like if I'm walking somewhere, like I'll catch people like writing it down to like look it up later.
That's awesome.
It's just interesting. You know what I mean? Like it's just interesting. And so like I feel like it's a similar kind of idea, like, and stuff like that. And some, I mean, I don't know. Some of my tattoos are really stupid. And then you were talking about that he had their wedding date, right? Mm-hmm. And all I could think of is like, I know what it's like to have like a wedding date on your arm. I know what that means. So right there.
Right.
But you know what? I asked Erin, I go, hey, does it bother you? And she goes, no. And I go, it's just a moment. It's a moment in time. You know what I mean? It is what it was at what it was then. You know what I mean? If it ever bothered her or something like that, we'd have a discussion around it. But otherwise, just got to explain to my daughter that that's the day that I became a baller.
That's it.
I'm just kidding. No. I got this big ring pop. It's like fancy. Yeah. Anyways, would you like to try to pull one of Erin's questions out of this helmet?
Of course, man. I've always liked pop questions.
I mean, I don't know what she writes. So like,
you want me to pull or you want to pull?
Well, so I think we're going to call this Erin's Space, not Odyssey, but Oddity Questions.
There you go.
That's the new title that we're inventing right now.
Yeah.
And so, you can pull something out of there. You can just kind of shake them around or pick something from the bottom or whatever. And if you don't want to answer it, we just don't. We don't do that thing right here.
You want me to read it or you want to read it?
I don't know. Let me read it. Let me see.
Can you read her handwriting?
Yeah,
she asked you earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's just this is kind of a softball, but I mean, we could probably get in a pretty deep discussion about this.
All right. Let's go for it.
What was your favorite cartoon character growing up?
Oh God. Probably Beavis and Butthead, man.
Really? Were you like, do you know what's so crazy is like, so Beavis and Butthead, I didn't really get into it because we didn't have that in Edna, right? So I'd have to go to my grandma's house to watch it, and she wouldn't let me watch that shit.
Right, neither would my grandma.
You know what I mean? And so y'all probably had it at home on cable, right?
We watched it when my parents weren't home or something like that. I mean, you know.
Hey, sorry, we're watching Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, man.
The humor, man. I love laughing. Like,
Yeah.
I love making people laugh.
Do you do Family Guy?
I'll be honest with you. I don't watch any TV anymore.
Okay, we can get into that. Why?
But that's a whole nother, you know.
Not really. Like, I mean, look, if I'm going to sit around in my garage for 2 hours or whatever it is and talk to somebody that's sitting 2 feet across me and some microphones, I'm going to have to stop watching so much TV. You only have so much time in a day.
Yep.
And so I look at it as like there are these down moments where like maybe I'm eating lunch or something and like I'll watch something on TV or just watch what's on or something just for a minute. But for the most part, I'm doing other stuff. I'm assuming that's what you're doing, right?
It's a waste of my time.
Right.
I mean, seriously, social media consumes enough of our time.
Yeah.
Of downtime.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit there and watch something that's not going to be productive for me personally.
Do you balance your social? Do you try to balance the social media stuff? Is it hard?
Yeah, of course it's hard. It's addiction, man. It's creates an endorphin in your brain when you get those likes and those checks and those,
it's
comments.
hard, man. So what do you try to do? Are you just like, fuck it? Or do you try to like not cut it off at a certain time or
the social media?
Yeah.
I need to practice more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. The only TV I'll watch is like
no fucking excuses, bro.
Exactly. Fuck your excuses. Yeah. But like I'll watch.
I just said it wrong.
I watch.
I'm just gonna get a marker and write no fucking excuses on my arm. Then be like,
I watch some entrepreneurial stuff. You know, Undercover Billionaire, some inspirational stuff. But man, for watching soaps and Bachelor and Bachelorette,
you don't do all that stuff.
Dude, it's like
you watch
sports neither.
Yeah, but you're not really a sports guy, right? Shark Tank. You do Shark Tank.
I did in the past. I don't keep up with it, but yeah.
I mean, do you feel like you've already Shark Tanked? Do you feel like you've done because you've been so you did this business 3 years out of your garage,
right?
And then you've been doing it for 22 years
total.
And then how long in your new spot?
So I will celebrate 5 years in that new location, October 1st.
Wow,
in that new location, man.
What kind of party? What are we doing? Like, when we get to a 5 year?
I want to bring back a monster truck or something, maybe, man.
Hey, don't give away too much.
But I've got less than 30 days to plan this out. Like, I need to get on it.
I mean, I don't know how hard it is to get a monster truck.
Well, they got to come out of Houston. So
what do they trailer them down or whatever?
Yeah, they break them down, put small tires on them,
and then drive them down.
They transport them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and they put the wheels like in the back,
in the parking lot. And
have you ever driven one of those things?
I have not. I was on a team with Overkill Evolution, and I helped detire them and work on them and stuff. But I've sat in one, but I've never.
What's it like to detire something like that?
It's a bitch. Those tires are heavy, man.
How big are the bolts?
They're just big old impacts, and you're just. It's
like
rough.
They're like this big?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's pretty wild.
Was that cool though?
It was cool, man. We got to tour. I went to Anaheim, went to Miami, Florida, Chicago, went all over the country. Would fly out and help my buddy Pitt and in these national stadiums with like 60,000 people out, and stuff would break and we'd be wrenching till the middle of the night. And
wow,
it was a cool experience.
How long did you do that for?
Probably did it for about 2 or 3 years. I took it as a semi vacation, but we actually was working.
But you were already, the business is already kind of running.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The business is self sufficient.
Yeah.
I would just leave on a Friday and come back on a Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was it was an interesting time, man. Just learned so much and got to experience different cities and reasons to go. And just
so let's talk a little bit more about because I think this is really cool, something that you do. Let's talk about all these country concerts that you go to, and all these small town guys that you keep finding. Like, I want to say one of the first times I saw like Parker McCollum, maybe it was like on one of your feeds or something like that. Or who's that other guy that you promote all the time?
Coetzel?
No, it was a Hispanic guy.
Giovanni and the Hired Guns?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my boys, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Brought his koozie with us. And we
that's the same one we put up there. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, absolutely.
And man, the reason I love that music so much is, man, these guys are hustling.
Yeah.
Just like I was hustling back in the day.
Yeah, like it speaks to you.
And they have a true passion of what they're doing. They're writing these lyrics, writing these songs. They're telling their stories, man.
Right.
And dude, they're performing on stage and they're grinding nonstop, living out of these 12 passenger, 15 passenger white vans, church vans, cruising the country, dude, and putting on shows for people, man. And I love connecting with them. And I love seeing when someone exuberate that energy on stage.
Right.
And being able to hear their stories, man. Yeah. And getting to know these guys on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So check out Giovanni and the Hired Guns. They're bubbling under, I want to call them.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, man. It's not country. It's just.
Is it kind of like Southern rock?
Yeah,
would you call it Southern? Like
Southern rock,
like Whiskey Myers type stuff.
Maybe not so much country. I feel like whiskey's a little country, but little Tejano blend into it a little bit.
Right.
Not a huge Tejano person, but man, it just sounds good.
Well, I mean, if you're from where we're from, bro, you have to know somehow.
South Texas. Yeah.
Something. You have to know something.
Right.
Like some sort of Tejano something, dancing, Spanish, something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So give me really quickly, like three bands that we don't know that you think are like the three kind of next, kind of, you're calling this like kind of Southern rock.
Yeah.
So if you're not into Southern rock, don't listen. That'd be ridiculous.
Right.
So give me like three bands and kind of a little description on each one real quick.
So Giovanni's my number one guy right now that I'm just pushing hard and following and going to see him as much as possible because dude, he's going to end up in stadiums just like Parker is right now. You can't even go see a Parker McCollum concert hardly.
Yeah.
So big.
Our boy Jared said that like every time at Moe's, he'd see you all the time at Moe's. Yeah. At Parker McCollum. Because they go to every Parker McCollum concert. I guess he's not doing that no more, huh?
No.
Yeah, he's too big for Moe's.
Yeah, way too big. Actually, Giovanni's at Moe's. Who else? Co Wetzel's huge. I'm a huge fan of his.
And you've been on him since the beginning too, right?
Yeah. I saw him at Greek Brothers in Ocampo.
Oh, wow.
Greek Brothers. Does that bring back some memories there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ocampo, Texas.
Yeah.
What a cool bar and
yeah,
venue, man.
I mean, there's like, I almost feel like in towns like that, like if you have something,
right,
just something. Like I was just telling somebody the other day about Cactus Canyon. Like, is that even there anymore?
No, it's not, man. It actually shut down. I think it lasted like 23 years, believe it or not.
I mean, that's a run for Victoria.
For a bar.
Right, yeah, for just anywhere that's like so. So where do people go in Victoria? Not to detour off our band thing. We'll come back. But.
Probably Aerocrafters and Greeks 205, which his dad runs.
Okay.
It was a spinoff of Greek Brothers. Those two bars, probably it. I mean, I don't do much of the bar scene.
Well, yeah, you can just go. You don't drink.
Right.
And you're going.
So 75 hard. So back up. So with no alcohol, like I was like, man, I don't need alcohol in my life to have a good time. And I hated the way I feel. And I'm on this huge entrepreneurial journey. And I don't want it fogging my brain up, man.
Fair enough.
And I'm not saying that I won't drink again. If I go to Cabo, I might have some drinks, man.
You're on vacation?
Yeah. I might. But I'm going to make it my choice.
Right.
I'm not going to have a drink to detox, to slow down at night, to do anything else.
Right. So we have Giovanni.
And
then
Tanner Ursey, I'm digging. Check him out. And
what do you like about that cat?
Just young, man. He's like 21.
Yeah.
And then Colby Cooper, but he's already starting to blow up pretty hard. Colby Cooper's like 20, 21 years old. And the guy is just writing some spit lyrics, man. Just
are a lot of these guys from Texas?
Yeah, small town Texas, man. Smaller than Victoria, smaller than Edna.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
wild.
wild.
Out the sticks. Actually, Giovanni's from Lipan, Texas. I never even heard of the.
Where's that at?
Dude, somewhere by Dallas area, Stephenville, somewhere between there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Small ass town.
Wow.
Nothing to do, but.
Well, like, did y'all have that guy in high school that played the guitar?
Not really.
Y'all didn't have that guy?
Not that I could think of. I went to private St. Joe high school, man. I was a good Catholic boy.
I know, but I mean, nobody there played the guitar?
Not that I can remember.
Everybody just
I was working on my truck, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I was that redneck wannabe out there working on the kicker. What, you remember that word?
Yeah.
Kicker?
Oh yeah.
Not the subs, not the speakers, but true redneck, wearing boots and stuff. And
well, I mean, it's where we grew up.
100%.
You know what I mean? I've told this story before to many people, but somewhere in my senior year, I had this like midlife crisis where, because up to that point, I had dressed like real hip hop and like baggy pants and the whole like deal, and I was having like this midlife crisis that I needed to be like my dad, and so my dad was a farmer,
right?
And so I started dressing up like a kicker, like I started dressing in boots and shit. And my senior prom picture is me in like a boots and hat. I mean, like, it's just crazy. And then like shortly I got to college and I was like, this is stupid. What am I doing? You know what I mean? It's just something that it's a phase I feel like you go through in a small town, right?
Yeah.
No?
I do. It's a phase. Yeah. You went through it.
Oh man, you want to try to pull a question out of there again?
Yeah.
Hey, whoa, really quickly. So if you can't see, we didn't have a water sponsor before, and we still don't have a water sponsor. But we're just Justin found this water and he really liked it, and we just wanted to give it a shout out. Not that Liquid Death's not great, but like if you're not sending me water, I mean I can't. I mean I don't have any obligations at this point, so Justin gets to jump in.
I like to support Texas-based businesses, of course. Who wouldn't? But man, this crazy water, I just discovered it about a week ago. I seen the label and I'm like, oh, that's crazy, whatever. But man,
that's crazy.
They're made in Mineral Wells, Texas, and it comes out of a well there. So I'm a huge Fiji lover, but man, this puts Fiji in the dirt.
And it fits in your...
Yeah, it's round. It's not square.
Yeah.
Fits your cup holders. Your wife would love that.
Well, she's my girlfriend, but
girlfriend.
But I
Sorry.
mean, she's my baby mama.
Yeah.
So, and she lives here. So she is essentially the wife partner. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, she won't drink Fiji water because the bottles are square.
So these have a lot of natural minerals, and man, it just tastes better than Fiji. And I know water's good for you. And so
I mean, if that isn't just like a selling point, it's not even equal to Fiji. It's better.
And it's only $1.50 a bottle. I mean, it's not that much more expensive than Fiji was.
So did they tell you why it's a different numbers? Or
so it's in the back. It just has more minerals.
Oh, okay.
More zinc, more silica, more potassium, more magnesium, blah, 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 all the good stuff. But one thing that blew me away, because I own a couple of short-term rentals, Airbnbs, and they have an Airbnb in Mineral Wells, and they rent it out so that you can soak in their tub with this water.
That's wild.
So I was like, dude, there has to be something to this. Like if people are going up there to soak in this water for a bath and shower, and I was like, it tastes good.
Yeah, I like
chugged it.
Yeah.
You're drinking it lukewarm too. It's not even cold and you're drinking it.
Yeah,
it tastes good.
I don't like super cold.
Right.
Like, I don't like my food super hot either. And Erin makes fun of me. She'll go, hey, you need to warm it up. I'm like, I'm fine. She goes, let me warm it up. I'm like, no, I like it like this. She goes, who likes food like that? I go, me. Just like, I just don't want, I don't know why. I just
it's
like.
cassoulet.
Probably
it
so.
came out so steaming hot, those fajitas you would bring to me back in the day.
Yeah.
When you were serving me margaritas.
Yeah, don't be throwing me under the bus. Like they might come back and arrest me for serving minors or something.
Right.
I don't know. Your ID said you were over 21. That's all.
It might have. It may.
That's all I remember that. That's all I know. His ID said he's
that
over.
place is still in business in Victoria, Texas, man. Shout out to them. Like that's legit that it can still stand.
Oh yeah.
This long.
Oh yeah. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna check this recorder. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. I didn't want to like magically turn off in the middle and then
I'll let you read it, man. I'm just gonna pick it.
Yeah, I mean it's probably I mean, she'd have never asked anything like really reckless. But she isn't kind of what's your spirit animal and why? Have you ever even thought about this?
No. Well, I now I do.
Okay.
I got an answer now. A lion.
Okay.
Yeah, a lion's not sheep, man.
You're right. Oh, back to your thing, right? Yeah.
Just being that leader. Lions don't have to ask for permission, bro.
Yeah.
They just go out and hunt.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what's going on in their life.
Right.
They hunt and.
So how do you? You have a lot of guys that work for you. How many guys work for you?
So I have 6 guys and I have 2 females.
Okay. And when I said guys, I meant people. Like, yeah. Sorry. So how do you? What do you? I'm assuming you use that mentality to lead the guys of your team. So like, how does that process? How do you? What do you do to lead those guys?
So we're a team.
Right.
That's the number one thing.
Right.
And we're all together in this together for the betterment of serving the customer.
Right.
And giving them exactly what they were requesting and wanting to. My number one goal when I build a truck is not just for looks.
You want it to work.
No. I want it to ride and drive better than stock.
Okay.
Seriously.
No. I didn't know that was possible.
The roads, the roads.
Yeah.
They're horrible everywhere you go. Every city has potholes.
You remember earlier when I was talking about the lies that my dad told me?
Yeah.
He probably was just like, we're not paying for that. That's probably what it was. But it was like your truck will ride rougher. So you're telling me that you can make my truck better than when it started.
100%. No, I don't care if it's 2 inches or 6 inches of lift. If you follow my guidelines and not, of what I recommended by upgrading the shocks, the suspension, I can make it ride and drive better than stock.
That's awesome.
And especially the 1-ton dualies, these big old, trucks that haul goosenecks and campers and stuff. These dualies ride like shit from the factory. Brand new trucks. The rear is so rough because it has to handle the weight that they're pulling.
So how do you remedy that and then make it ride better? What do you do? Or can you? Is it
get
secret?
technical, or this is going to get way off?
Yeah, well, don't get too technical.
Shocks,
okay,
and some shackles and just minor stuff, man.
Yeah.
Not super expensive either.
Yeah,
but just and educating that customer. I want that customer to understand why that part is costing $400 to $500 more than the competition down the road.
Right.
I explained everything to them, and I want a female to understand. We do a lot of females vehicles, believe it or not, Jeeps, all kinds of stuff. And we walk them out, and we help them pick out wheels, and we make it their own.
Yeah.
And we explain everything to them why this is better than that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a sales pitch. It is a true. I want that vehicle to ride and drive better than stock.
Yeah.
Because of our roads these days. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like it's shit.
They're rough.
You know,
they're real rough.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what vehicle do you end up like doing the most? Jeeps? The Jeeps?
We do. Actually, I fix a lot of Jeeps because
people fuck them up.
Well, Jeeps don't. If they're not lifted correctly, they drive like shit, and
Really?
you're all over the road.
Really?
Yes. So they're very sensitive to out of round tires, horrible shocks, and horrible suspension. But they look badass, but they can drive like shit.
So, like you're saying that like that person tries to do it themselves, and what they
or even
buy,
just at another shop. Man, people don't care these days.
Yeah.
They're going to sell you anything off the shelf, a Chinese made product, anything, and just to get your money to give you that look that you're going for.
Yeah.
It looks badass, but how does it drive?
Right.
That is my biggest motto and mission.
That's awesome, dude.
You know, and we're on a mission right now, man. We're gonna we're gonna outfit over 100,000 vehicles by 2025.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm keeping track, man. We're gonna put that in part
Is
of
that another party? So we got the 5-year anniversary party, and then we got the 100,000.
No, it's just a goal.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
yeah. That's awesome, man.
We're on a mission, man. Just setting those goals and those missions in the company.
Yeah, dude, that's so great, dude. That's so great.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I always like to like kind of wrap up and just like ask we've talked about it kind of all night with all the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
But maybe just in a whole kind of explain your process to like achieving like moderation, balancing your life, making sure, hey, I'm getting enough rest, I'm doing enough this, I'm doing enough that, I'm exercising enough. Like, tell me your process in which you moderate your life.
I don't get enough sleep. It's like most people. I do.
But you're aware of it.
Yeah, I am.
Like you work on it. Like, right. I mean, hey, just total disclosure. Like you said, hey, can we start early? Because he came 2 hours to come do this. He's like, hey, can we start a little bit early so I can get home? And I was like, totally respect that.
Yeah, I got a 2.5 hour drive home, and still got work in the morning, man. I got gym and
it's got shit to do.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've been very diligent since restarting 75 Hard. I've been in the gym almost every day.
Yeah,
and I know you could appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's a stress reliever now at this point.
Yeah,
do I want to go? Fuck no, I don't want to go.
Right,
but I realize I have to.
Yeah,
for my own sanity, to release that stress out of me.
Did you say that one of the things you can do is yoga on the 75 Hard?
Yes, you can do anything you want on the workout.
Do you ever do yoga?
I have a little bit.
It's not fun in the beginning.
No, hell no, dude. You're sore. So we're doing a lot of hip movements right now in my gym class. Shout out to Chris Thomas and Get It Right Chiropractor. That guy is a ex-track Olympian.
Oh wow!
And dude, a badass dry needling chiropractic in Victoria. And
but y'all do like a lot of hip mobility and stuff like that. That's awesome.
A lot of functional movement.
Oh, that's great.
We're not trying to get buff. They just want to move.
Right. That's great.
I don't have to replace my hips when I'm 65, bro.
That's right.
So I mean, move them,
dude. My goal is to be like this for the rest of my life.
Right.
Like imagine if I could be at the health I am right now when I'm 75. Like how amazing that would be. The mobility and all. And I'm not even that super mobile. You know what I mean? But like, if I could just maintain this, like that'd be awesome. Cause I want to we went wakeboarding yesterday. Like I want to go, I want to go do stuff.
You want to do things.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stuck in the house in a wheelchair. And
I want my life to go like this. I want to just slowly get go up like this. And then I just get hit by a bus. And then I don't want to slow down decline of my life. It's just I watch so many people that are older in their lives. It just drags on. You know what I mean?
So I got a deep question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you afraid of death?
No, not at all.
Fair enough. Neither am I.
Yeah. It's a good feeling too. And not in that it's not like a cocky way. I'm not scared of death. It's one of those things that you embrace that hey, every day is not given. And you need to appreciate every single one.
So one thing I've been doing lately when I see people are like moping around, I walk up to them, man. Heard this from Sean Whalen say it at a speaking event. I go, bro, you won the lottery today. And they look at me and they go, huh? What do you mean? You just stare. I said, bro, you really won the lottery today. And they go, dude, what are you talking about? I'm like, you woke up today. They look at me and I'm go, you know how many people didn't wake up today?
A whole lot.
A whole lot of people didn't wake up today.
Yeah.
We got our arms, we got our legs, we can walk, talk, breathe on our own. Is life really that bad right now? Hell no. Compared to everybody else that's,
bro,
like,
I know I don't have the best and I know I don't have it the worst. But could we say on some level, if you just live in America, you're winning already.
100%.
Like,
We're free, man.
I mean, people try to get into here. This is the club everybody wants to be a part of.
Being in South Texas, I mean, we're seeing immigrants crossing, illegals crossing every day.
And so it's like appreciate how great like we have it here, because and now having my daughter and then the stuff that had gone on in Afghanistan and what happened to those people and those women and man, it's just it's a different feeling when you have a little girl like that. It's a little different. Somebody told me, I remember just being before I had her, I was like, if I got cancer, I just wouldn't even do chemo. I would just ride it out. You know what I mean? I don't want to fight it that hard. I would just be, and people were like, well, when you have a daughter, you'll think differently. I was like, nah, I think the same way. And I remember the first day, it kind of was like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't leave her here. You know what I mean? It's an incredible feeling, I
hear you. And then, it turns back around to, Mr. Hooper, age 65 or however old he is. And he's heading downhill. And I was like, he still has a daughter that's 35 and ish. And, I'm like, bro, she's still there for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, loss is just something that happens in life, and all kinds of loss. It could be loss of money, loss of time, loss of a person. But I mean, it's part of what happens in life. It's okay to stop and appreciate it. But you can't just stop your life. If you just stop right there, if you just stick right there, it's just well, you just basically killed yourself. You just stop living. You know what I mean? You have to find a way to find some peace with that stuff. And it's hard.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
my grandparents were married for 69 years.
That's crazy.
69 and a half years, man.
Oh, I mean, I can't even I can't wrap my head around
People
that.
Don't even live that long.
I know.
Scott, for real.
And especially in me, obviously being divorced, I'm
divorced too. I mean,
so you're 69 years.
69 and a half.
Man,
they were creeping on 70, bro. They were
they knew everything.
100%.
Everything. There wasn't something either one of them could do that the other, if they were surprises, I'd be shocked in that amount of time.
And that's where I got my hustling from, man.
From your grandpa?
Yeah. I watched him flip lawnmowers and rebuild them, buy them in garage sales, rebuild them and sell them for $35, $40. And he was providing a service to somebody, but he was also making $20, $30, $40 a pop.
Yeah.
And man, that's where I just watched that hustle go, and I just exploded it from there, man. I set that stuff on fire and got into so many different things in my businesses, and I just hustling, man, by Rick Ross is my song, boy. That song 15 years old now.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's a classic.
It's a classic. That's always going to sound good in a car.
Yeah, it is. Get some speakers behind it, some bumping going on, and
y'all don't do speakers though.
I don't do car audio.
But do you? You have a guy you always recommend?
Yes,
y'all work together.
Yes, sir. We do.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Strong move.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I totally derailed that. But so I mean, you're aware of how much that balance is important. It's like everybody. It's hard, right? It's a struggle. You're trying to do this grind. You're also trying to take care of yourself. You're also trying to take care of others, and it's you have to try to find some sort of balance. Otherwise, something will burn out, right?
So I got the wrong word for it. What are your acronym to style word? But when you're in an airplane, they tell you to put, I'm going with this already.
Yes.
They tell you to.
I think I've actually said this a couple of times, but you just go ahead and say it. Yeah.
I mean, they tell you if you have a child, you need to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, so that you are alive and breathing, that you can take care of yours.
That's right.
That creates a life, man.
It's 100%.
You have to take care of yourself so you can take care of your daughter, bro.
Yeah. It's really become my fitness goals have changed a lot over the last year. I mean, there's a lot of it that's still the same, but there's other little small things that like have changed. You know what I mean? And it's like because of her, like just like having that fancy water machine I was telling you about. And
yeah, I want to check that thing out. By the way,
yeah. But just like because I don't know, like I just don't. I mean, I want to make sure I'm like sharp and I can take everything in and be present as much as possible. Cause like I asked Erin today, I go, you want to have another baby? She's like, nope. And like, I was just kind of like kidding, but like, I think the reason people sometimes have more than one kid is because it just goes so fast. And if you don't pay attention, it's just like gone. But like, I try to like, just be present with her as much as possible. Cause like, we're not going to do this again. So I'm like, well, got to remember what this feels like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so anyways, but like, everything just, those ideas change. You know what I mean? I got to assume that like there's been like an evolution of your business, right? Like it's evolved, right? To stay relevant, you have to evolve and roll. And there's things that probably you didn't like about what evolved. And there's things that were great about what evolved, right?
Right.
And so you just have to be able to roll with that stuff. But if you get stuck in too much in one part of that, it'll drag you down, right? So, yeah.
So I just try to be as positive as possible, man. We're lucky to be alive. And we're lucky to be in America. We're free.
I mean,
dude,
what else are you doing?
So I'm in the short term.
No. I'm being rhetorical. Like,
Victoria, what?
No. Rhetorical. I'm just saying, be positive. You're not doing anything else.
Right.
You might as well do that. You know what I mean? If you're being negative, you have the alternative. Why not just do it?
Right.
It feels a lot better.
It does.
Yeah.
It feels like you can give. It feels so good, man. We did so much in the community. The freezes hit.
Yeah.
I give back as much as I can in Outlaw, man.
Yeah.
Because in the end.
But that's a balance, right? Like, so like you're making money.
Right.
And you're giving money back.
But guess what?
What's up?
In the end, it's not our money, bro. It's his money. God's.
Fair enough.
And if we're not good stewards of his money, is he going to reward us with more?
No.
Then I'm going to.
It's blessings, right?
Right.
Like it's blessings.
Right.
It doesn't have to always be in the form of a currency. It can be in the form of anything.
Correct.
Right. So just a lot of times it is currency. A lot of times currency is needed, but like, you know, it's the ability that you have to do something
and to impact lives.
Right.
I mean, I spent right after the freeze hit in Victoria, the linemen, the firemen, the police force were all out. Dude, I went to a local pizza shop. I went a small pizza shop, man, but they make legit pizzas. Dude, I donated $3,000 and I had a free pizza lunch for any first responder to come through and drive through, dude. And we were just handing pizzas out left and right.
That's awesome, bro.
Dude, it was one of the biggest days he's ever had for a sale for $3,000 a day. Dude, he was stoked.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, dude, this is going to win-win for everybody.
That's
right.
I
want to give back. I have the ability to give back, and I'm going to do it.
I was talking to one of my friends last night, and then we have to wrap this up. But what if you could never give yourself blessings, or like you could never give yourself favor, but you could always give it to everybody else.
Mm-hmm. And
then what if everybody else gave everybody else blessings? What would happen to you? You would get blessings, right?
Right.
If someone else gave it to you.
Right.
And that mindset, I think, is more powerful than trying to capture your own blessings. Just give them out and trust that someone's going to give it to you.
100%, man.
Right.
I'm always willing to help anybody out, man. Knowledge through business, coaching.
Yeah. I mean, you gave me a shit ton of knowledge about, I'm going back to my dad and I'm going to tell him, like, look, this ain't going to mess up he's going to do my truck and it's going to make it ride better.
Exactly.
It's going to make it ride better. Like you said, it would be worse and it's going to be better. That's what I'm going to tell him.
But on the more serious note, man, giving back to anyone, man, I want to be that shining light to even that 16, 17-year-old kid that he doesn't have to go to college. I just did a thing with our radio station for college graduates or high school graduates. They don't have to go to college. Pursue what you want to do, man. If you want to be a YouTube star, dude, don't let anybody stop you.
Yeah.
Your whole life's in front of you, man. Just grind, figure it out, fail. You're going to win at some point.
Right.
Don't be stuck in you have to go to college, you have to do this. And I just want to be that inspiration and giving back, man, because I went to college, but dude, did I have to? No.
Well, so just really quickly to your point, like when do you feel like your business I know you're always pushing it forward, but when were you like, man, like I've got something here. Like I have hit all my initial goals. Now I have to create new, because all the ones I wanted to do, I already did those. Now I got to create new ones, right? But was there a point where like you felt like you'd made it? Because I would say that you like your shop's legit. Like, I mean, you've made it, right? So in 22 years, how long did it take you just to get to that made it point? Like, I want people to understand like how long that grind was. It wasn't like,
oh, it's 17 years before 5 years of the shop is old and 22 minus 17.
So you're basically saying when you got your own spot, that's when it was like yours, right?
Yep.
So, but like that was 17 years, bro. You had to grind that thing for 17 years.
A lot of tears, a lot of late nights.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah,
sounds like
just
I mean, yeah, and
a lot of learning.
Like, I just like I want people to understand, especially like young people, like if you really want to do something, like
nothing's gonna happen overnight.
Yeah, and if it
weight loss, physical shape, nothing's gonna happen overnight.
Nothing. Every actor you see, every YouTube star you see, they started off like not doing anything or nobody caring, and they just kept doing it. They grinded it, right?
Right.
So, you know, you were asking me what I do to do podcasts. I don't know. I'm going to keep doing this until something happens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because did you have fun?
Oh, hell yeah. It was a blast, brother. I love talking about I love being that inspiration, man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, I mean, why else would I bring you on? I mean, like that. I mean,
I want to give a plug out.
If there's any plugs you want to do for anything right now, just go ahead and lay them out right now.
Check out my business, man, Outlaw Off-Road of Texas on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Check me out, Justin Schoener. That's JUSTIN SCHOENER on Instagram, Facebook. And I have some short-term rentals right now I'm working on too. Some Airbnbs, Thomaston River Retreat out in Cuero, Texas.
It looks and Cuero's really not that far from
like
Austin.
20 minutes. Yeah, it's like an hour and a half from Austin.
Yeah, it's pretty close, and it's on the river.
Yeah, right? I got river rapids in my backyard.
Yeah,
Serenity though, and there's like no neighbors.
And it looks fantastic.
It is beautiful out there, man.
Like, I mean, you have like kind of a porch patio set up out there, don't you?
So I have a huge Edison lights hanging from the tree, fire pits.
Yeah,
hanging Edison lights in the trees. It is stunning out there.
Did you say you have a website for that, or you go to Instagram?
It's ThomastonRiverRetreat.com.
Okay.
You can search for it on Airbnb, and there's links on all that stuff for VRBO and Airbnb.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then I want to buy more properties after that, man. It's just going to continue to evolution. I've got mentors that are coaching me, and I'm just going to pass that knowledge down to anybody.
Dude, I mean, that's what it's about, right?
Right. I want people to succeed.
Right. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's just happiness in this world, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how people don't get it sometimes.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't have time for those people.
That's a
whole other subject.
We can do a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
All right, my dude, here, give me a hug.
All right, brother.
Hug this out.
Yeah.
All right.